What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One set. Literally. Thank you. It was my first time attending a dance competition and sitting through the hours and hours on end of just sitting in the auditorium. And for anyone jumping in who has been in the comp world and knows this, and I know I texted you about this earlier, they audibly critique every piece after they're done. And
right. Yeah, you were telling me about this. Yeah,
I was texting you about this earlier on the day, and I was just like, okay, if that is efficient and it's cutting down the awards throughout the day, but I did the math and I'm like, it's nice that they do that immediately, and at the same time, like, you could register more entrants and make the competition a little bit more what's the word? Competitive. Yeah. I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about it. I appreciate it for what it is, but at the same time, like, I grew up for 30 plus years watching it where everyone just got adjudicated all at once. Hey, these are the medals you earned. These are the overalls all at once. So, and from the judge's perspective, I was just like, I would never want to do that. Not once, not one time at all. So, that's the gist of my previous weekend. Why don't you let everyone know about your fly fishing excursion?
yeah. I was expecting to head up to the Lehigh Valley. I checked the flow chart in the morning, and the flows kind of show you the water levels of the streams usually, and I noticed it was a little high, but it was coming down pretty fast. So I'm like, all right, well, it most likely rained the night before, but I've never seen this stream really get really washed out. So I took my dad. We go up and make the hour drive, and we crossed. And I took you there before. We crossed over that little bridge right next to the parking space, and the stream is just washed out, muddy. So usually if it's off color, but this was just like mud central. So we're like, yeah, there's no point for us to even get set up. So we headed to Reading to another creek called the Tubbleholken Creek, or as other people like to call it, the Tubble. And
yeah.
The Tubble. So I've only been there once with another fly fishing buddy, and he took me there, and I didn't do too bad the first time. And he took me to 3 different areas. But when me and my dad went there this past Sunday, we only went to one little spot because it was already about like noon, and we were on the road at like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. So we had our fair share of, being on the road. So we're like, all right, let's just stick to one area. And unlike the Lehigh, little Lehigh Creek, this one was clear, but the levels were very, very low, where this stream is usually like the stream is usually up pretty high, where you have to wait, and this particular section has a pretty fast flowing current to it, and you have to be very careful when wading in the water. They usually recommend that you wear cleats on your boots or wear or pack a wading staff so you can kind of, you know, tread through the water a little bit,
Well,
because the
because
bottom, like a lot of the rocks carry a lot of algae.
and it's going to be a lot slippery. Yeah. So you need the traction
Yeah.
and the cleats. Yeah. You need that friction
Yes.
to be able to withstand your balance. Yep.
Yes, that 100%.
Yep.
And even so, with it being with the water being so far down, it was, I mean, from the first time to this time, it totally different water level. I think a normal level for it is usually like 150 to 200, and this was like at like 50 or 70. So it was like very shallow for what it normally is. It was still fishing great, and um you know, so long story short, it ended up turning out to be a pretty good day. I ended up landing 4, and there was this, I think you would have had a fun time seeing this, because I had a dry fly on, which for anybody who's not much of a fly fishing connoisseur, it's when you're fishing on the top of the water, and when fish are actually, you know, taking insects off the top of the water. So I'm using a dry fly because I saw a couple fish rising to the top for something. So I throw a fly out there, and fish goes up to get it. I strike at it, and it didn't take the fly. So I'm like, oh man, okay. So sometimes that happens. So I try it again the next cast, and it hits it again, does the same thing, and I strike it, and it missed it. So I'm like, all right, so it's actually coming after it, but it's not fully committing to it. So I'm like, all right, do I go smaller? Do I change up a fly or something? So I I try to change up the fly. I went to another fly. I went to pick it up, and I close my fly box. I open my hand, fly's not there. I drop the fly in the water. So bye-bye to that one. So I end up trying something else, and it did this. Yeah, I was like, whoopsie. So I tried another fly, which was a lot smaller, and again, it did the same thing. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I have to look up, like, you know, because there's times where usually they will come up and act like they're taking it, but they refuse it at the last second. So I'm not sure if it was my drift in the water, or it just suddenly knew it was not food, and it just was like, no. Like, so it's like the technique of something I'll have to look up and see why that would have happened. So I thought it was interesting but funny at the same time. And we ended up getting back on the road. We got back by like 5-ish. So it was a fun day because, you know, coming into these summer months, it's going to start getting hotter. So, but I think the Tully, Little Lehigh, Valley Creek, a lot of those creeks stay at a decently cool temperature throughout the summer, where Ridley Creek, normally in the summer, that creek, it really gets high in temperatures, and a lot of those trout don't survive those temperatures. So
dude, I can't wait to get back on the water with you. I know you're a little bit more into
Same.
it than I am. Same. But I know that is like a zen moment for you, where it's a very like for you thing, where it's like, hey, I am invested in this right now. And I mean, obviously you're a father before everything. Like, he's your number one. And I would have to
Yeah.
say Jen is obviously priority beyond fishing. But when you get those moments to get out there and just clear your head, and I know how important that is to you. And I'm happy that you know where it is, and I'm happy that you are able to go do that and have that time for you. It's so important for us as individuals to be able to say, hey, this is a for me thing, and I need it, even if it's once a month. It's
Yeah.
It's super
It
important,
definitely
and I'm
helps,
happy
like,
that
kind of reset your mind. Yeah. Like just in any type of thing, just like for you with dance, it's definitely something that kind of breaks up your day too.
I'm sure, like on your drive home, when you're going back home, and you're like, okay, well, I'm on my way home. I just did the fishing thing, but on your ride home, you're like, okay, well, I'm headed back home, and I am number one dad, close second, if not tied, husband. Um, your mindset's there, but while you're on the water,
Hmm.
you at least get to say, hey, I have this time for myself, right? And that is, I am so proud
Yeah.
that you are able to have that dynamic in your relationship with, being married, obviously number one, but also number two, being a dad and finding time for yourself. That is incredible. Um, hey, I
Yeah.
texted you this morning.
Yeah. It definitely helps. Yeah.
I texted you this morning. I was like, what do we want to talk about tonight? And right before we signed on, I was like, hey, maybe we can do this. And it's kind of impromptu. Um, I have two trailers. One, a movie that has not come out yet. And the second one is a movie that came out 10 years ago. And it is um, the conclusion trailer of an entire culmination of a series of books and movies and this, that, and the other. So I want you to, I know we didn't talk about this off air. So
Hmm.
I want you to try to start thinking about that, because I want you to try to, if you can't challenge me directly in this episode, I want you to think about that. And then maybe you lead the next episode with your counter to these. Um, and
Okay.
I want to, and I think, I think, we're doing these watch alongs, and I think on Patreons, for our patrons that sign up for our Patreon, maybe they'll receive like our breakdown of the episode that we watch or the movie that we watch, because in real time while we're watching along, we're just giving our in real time reactions. But if you want
Yeah.
to catch a reaction to the movie or the episode, um, tier two is our 20 to 60 minute episode watch alongs. And anything beyond an hour is our tier three watch along. And we'll have reactions for those patrons that sign up for those, right?
100%.
100%. So, and do you want the, wow. I know that we're going to have to like post, produce, write this in. And hey, these these trailers are available on YouTube, so it's not like copyright infringement if we
Hmm.
wanted to reproduce them in the episode, or we can just edit them out. This is for our audience, this is something brand new, and this is something that Anthony and I didn't talk about prior to right now. Anth, if you could, two tabs. One, you're gonna pull up Evil Dead Rise trailer number 1, and it is a scary
Oh, you
movie.
mother.
And then,
I hate you.
yeah, hey, you know what? I'm doing this because you and I are not horror movie fans, because we're oh wow, the PC phrase here would be scaredy cats on this front.
Barhair.
Insert the PUS word wherever you would like. Pardon me. So we are gonna watch this trailer together.
So which
And
one am I looking at?
it,
Because I'm looking at the first couple choices. I put in the search. I put in Evil Dead Rise 2022 trailer, and then There's the Evil Dead Rise official trailer, Red Band, Evil Dead Rise trailer number 1 to 2023. Which one do you have pulled up?
I have put up Evil Dead Rise trailer number 1 parentheses 2023 from Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, cool.
Let me know when you're ready. And for anyone watching, hey,
Turn down the
I
effing
am
volume,
not
'cause I
a
just-
horror. I am not a horror movie like buff by any
Same.
means. But
No,
Cheyenne
Me
is,
either.
and
I hate horror. I
actually
mean, I can't say I hate horror movies because I watch horror movies, but like I'm not a scary movie
you don't go out of your
person.
buff, like you don't go out of your way for them. Yeah, I had her watch this, and she was like, "Wow, this looks really awesome," and I was like, "That this is where I'm like, I think this is where we're going forward with like do the trailers nowadays entice you to go to the movies? I know you have like a 2 almost 3-year-old, so it's a little bit different in that dynamic. But I saw this and I was like, I would actually pay money to go see this because I think this looks amazing. On your count, Anth, when you're ready.
All right. I mean, we're obviously going to be on a slight little bit of delay, but whatever. So we will do the 1, 2, 3, go on your count whenever you're ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Already, I'm. Nope. Yep.
Yep. Oh, biscuit.
Yep. Uh-uh. It's a me, Mario.
It's a me, Mario. Biscuit.
Nope. Uh-uh.
Not nice.
Bye. Nope. Nope.
Dude,
I'm okay.
I'm telling you. You know, let me find you in this tab.
You want to know my reaction? Hard pass.
And so probably next recording I will have seen it because I have all of the movies that I've taken Cheyenne to see, like they have been like a, hey, I want to see this, and she's been like, okay, cool. And it's never been a like she wants to see it, and I'm like, I sent it to her, and I was like, I would never want to see something like this in the theater, but because we haven't done a for you thing, I would actually sign on to that. And she watched the trailer and she was like, I'm in, I'm down. And I was like, awesome. So having watched that, for me, I was starting to think about like what trailers are so epic that make you undeniably, undeniably go see the movie, even if you had the full intention of going to see it. And I have like one pulled up here, and it's kind of obvious. Do you have anything in mind off the top of your head, or do you want to think about it while we watch my next one? Because I know we didn't
Yeah,
talk
while
about
we
this
watch
off
your
air
next one,
before
I'll try
we
to think of one
did the episode.
because I mean, I can say that you were just talking about this is something you want to see with Cheyenne. Uh, Me and Jen this past weekend, we finally had like a date night for like the first time in a while, and we ended up going out to eat, and then we were either going to go get a drink, or she was like, "Hey, I know you want to go see that new movie Air, so let's go see that." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it," because we haven't been to a movie since the pandemic.
You had mentioned to me off the air, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but we can totally talk about that on here after we get through these trailers. But yeah, for sure, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, so the movie is basically based off Nike shoes and the signing of Michael Jordan to the Nike brand back when before
Wait,
he
wait, wait,
got
wait, wait, wait,
drafted
wait.
to the Chicago Bulls.
I saw the trailer for this
I
when
was gonna say, if you see the trailer, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember who the lead was. Who was the lead in that movie?
Ben
Because I can't
Affleck,
remember.
or if Burt was here, it would be Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Yeah. Yeah. No,
And
when we went
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. When we saw Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Mania, they had the trailer for that. And Shane was like, but I sat there and I was like, I could see this being a really cool story if they do it right. Like I would love to see it.
It
So
was
you
very good because
cool.
knowing me, like I am and was a big Michael Jordan fan. But the
Of
thing is,
course.
it wasn't centered. It wasn't centered like Michael wasn't a main character in this. It was more talking about the Nike company. So it was more of
Everything that was happening in the background behind the scenes. Yeah, yeah. And
yes.
I
So it
love
was
that.
cool. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
I love that.
centered around Michael, but it was. So it was very cool. I learned a lot of new things about, because I wasn't even born when he was drafted into the league. And, there were a lot of things that like they put in the movie that I didn't even know about the league at the time, and like how a lot of the basketball players who were, having shoe deals and stuff, like they didn't earn any revenue from that. And again, I don't want to spoil. I mean, I guess one somewhat of a spoil, but whatever. But they give you a lot of details about you know. I mean, it's not much of a spoiler because everybody knows he eventually went to Nike, but it's cool to see how the thing kind of, you know, played into it. So, if you want, we'll see that trailer right now, or we'll hook up yours, then we'll do Air next.
Okay. For everyone that's tuning in, we didn't want to talk about like Phillies, Eagles. I mean, there is obviously stuff to talk about with the both of them, and there's stuff to talk about with wrestling. But we know that we had talked at length about those in the previous couple episodes, so we wanted to take a little bit of break from those. And Sixers are in the playoffs. They should get through round one.
Well,
All
they
the
just
kudos
won
to
game
them.
2 tonight, which I saw. So, they're doing pretty good in their series. I mean, 9 times out of 10, they should be able to sweep through this series pretty good.
Sweep.
But
Yep.
sweep, yeah, that. So I'm not too worried about this series. I think it's when because if they do, they got to face possibly the winner of the Boston series, and it's most likely going to be Boston. So I am worried that they're not going to be able to beat Boston. But everybody's saying that they're going to make it to the championship this year. I'm not sold on it yet. So if they can beat Boston, then the Miami and I know we're kind of getting into it, but it's all good. The Bucks and Miami series is looking to be pretty decent because Giannis, he's out with a back injury, so that's going to be better for Miami. So that's going to be an evenly matched series. So we'll see what that's like. Uh, if if Sixers can somehow beat Boston, then I could possibly see them getting into the championship because
Well,
I
the
think
whole
they have a
thing
better chance of beating.
the
Go
whole
ahead.
thing is if they can beat the Celtics, then they have a chance at winning everything. They
Yeah.
are known in the last 20 years for not being able to pass Boston. So if they can get
Mm-hmm.
past Boston, then they have a chance at winning it all, right? And you know, 2001 was when the Sixers faced the Lakers, and Allen Iverson was like the guy for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we were hopeful, and we were like, "Come on, we can do this." And the Lakers were just too much better. And it's been 22 years now. And in the last few years, at least the Sixers are in playoff contention. So it's not like they're
Yes.
doing terribly. But
Right.
geez, off air. You know what I'm about to say too, and I'm not going to say his name, but you know where I'm going. If our star player could stop crying so much,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we could make it past the second round. And that's all I'm going to say. As much as I think the Sixers can do it, and I think they're a strong team. I think Embiid, I don't know. I don't like him as a leader for us. I look at him and I'm like, yeah, you put up numbers, but at the same time, I'm like, you're not that guy for us. You just complain too much, and like I'm just salty about that front.
Yeah.
If that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
it seems like they're putting up numbers pretty well right now. I haven't got to see any of these last two games. I will try to definitely check into game 3 because they've been saying they've been playing well. But again, I mean, the Brooklyn Nets without Kevin Durant, without
Ben Simmons. Oh,
yeah, without Ben Simmons, don't even get me a start on that. Kyrie Irving, without those two, I mean, they're really not much anymore. I don't think we were going to get Ben to reach out and say, I got this, guys. All right, yeah, feel the bench, son. So, I mean, I would assume this is going to be a sweep. And my thing is looking into the next one. And, if we're looking into playing Boston in the second round, that's going to be the series that I'm going to definitely pay attention to. Because if we can beat Boston, I will, I'll be more, what's the word? I'll be more, eased to think that we can probably make it into the championship. Miami and Bucks are good too. Miami's really good. I mean, they got, Jimmy Butler still. He's still putting up numbers. So we'll see. Again, it's different than the college basketball where it's one and done. You got 7. It's best of 7. So I mean, if you're down 2, it's easy to come back. When you're down 3, it's usually impossible. But it's been done before. So We'll see. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of hard to be down on your own home team, but this is how I've been feeling for the last couple of years. That at least we're playoff contenders, but I don't think we're at the championship level yet. So if they
You're,
have a way to prove it to me this year, I'm down.
you're talking about number of games down rather than okay. So we were out at lunch a few weeks ago, and we were watching Villanova women's basketball, and they were down 21 points, and they came back, and they were ahead by like 2-3 points. They wound up losing, but to see a team be down so much, and that was like third quarter they bounced back, and in the fourth quarter it was like so fun and interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just tough to bet against a team that gets so far ahead, but at the same time, allows for the opposition to come back and get ahead. It's almost like, what are you doing? And Nova Women's was playing Miami in that game. So we're just sitting there like, come on. Like, we weren't like super paying attention to like the women's bracket and this and the other, but we're like, okay, come on. If you can come back from 21 points back and you're ahead, what are you doing? Don't let up. Don't let this. And they wound up losing, and it was like, hey, it was a valiant effort, and we love that for sure. Do we want to watch this Harry Potter trailer real quick? Do you have it pulled up at least?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I have it pulled up and ready to go.
To be fair, have you seen all of the Harry Potter movies?
Negative.
So what have you seen of them?
I've seen probably a very small bit of a movie. I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan. To be plain
and that's
honest.
okay, because people will yell at me because I have not seen all the Star Wars stuff, and people will be like, "How dare you?" And in the same frequency or wavelength, I have not seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies, and people are like, "How? Like, what? Really?
Yeah, same here.
You've watched Jesus, Game of Thrones, but you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, this, that, and the other." And I'm like,
right.
Yeah, no, I haven't. Sorry. So you having not seen like really any of these, and this doesn't give it away, but along the way, you could probably put two and two together, but it is, to me, very well pieced together cinematography. And I'm 36 years old and saying this. I'm not like a child, like, oh my God, Harry Potter, meh. Like, I thought it was really, really, really well done for its time.
Yeah,
So,
don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that I'm not a Harry Potter fan because I'm like, oh, Harry Potter, no, it's stupid. No, I just never got into it. I'm willing to watch a movie from front to back, and I think they are interesting films. They just don't interest me enough to be like, I want to sit down and watch this. So, like I said, if I had like something like that,
So patreon.com/OneSetPod. If you want us to get into this Harry Potter series, especially watching the trailer with Anthony now and him not seeing it, I have watched the movies probably 2, maybe 3 times through, and I would watch them through again, especially with Anthony, just to be able to experience his reaction to a lot of the storytelling, and him being an artist and a writer himself, and understanding, hey, I'm producing music and I'm writing my own stories. Something like this, I think, would really resonate with you. So we have the same link, and on your count, when you say 3, 2, 1, we will watch this. Okay, you ready? We have
Yeah.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 official trailer. The source is Harry Potter with oh geez, what's the check mark? Verified next to it.
Yeah, verified Harry Potter page on YouTube.
Yeah, so wow. I did not know that you have not seen all of them in like
No.
conclusion.
So that is the last 2 movies of Harry Potter, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the culmination of everything. And I will say the
Okay.
anyone that I will try to turn on to the series, I'll say the first 2 movies are very hey, do you remember when you were in first grade? Do you want to go back there? That's how it feels. It feels very like
Hmm.
childish in that front. It was built to be meant for young kids, but movies 3,
Right.
4, absolutely 5, 6 was tough, and then 7, part 1, part 2. I mean, jeez.
But from seeing this trailer, I definitely got to say this would be something if I was into the movie at that point, I'll be like, okay, this ending is going to be epic.
Okay, so match me with something that I need to see. I know what you're gonna say. I think, and it doesn't have to be a movie. It can be a television series, and you're like, you have to watch this. It is pivotal for our friendship, for us to understand each other. For that movie series, I mean, that to me, it's better than all of the MCU Marvel stuff. And we went and saw Endgame together because it was
Yeah.
so important.
And
Seeing
that was another
all
thing I wasn't really into, but you guys all really got me into inspiring to watch the stuff. And I was so glad I was able to see, Infinity War and Endgame with you guys because it was,
Mhm.
so good.
Yeah,
And, I'm really glad I was able to, experience that with you guys. I still remember that, you know, epic part.
they were able to pull 20 movies into one and culminate it into one big storyline. And
Yeah.
you and I sat there, and you and I were both just like, I mean, we didn't see half of these movies, but we appreciate how awesome that this is right now. And we were
And I
just
think we did
we were
enough
excited.
research that we could follow everything. Like you said, we didn't see every second of every movie. I tried to watch as many as I could, but when I was in the theater, I felt I knew what was going on because
Sure.
that was the whole thing. Like they were saying, like, "Oh, you need to watch a couple of things." So I'm like, "All right, well, let me start watching a couple." And so when I was there, I'm like, all right, I understand this, I understand that, and how these things are coming together. And, because like you said, you have a whole bunch of these movies that are coming into different times and places, and they're all coming together for this, 2-part series of what's going on. And yeah, I would definitely say, from not seeing any Harry Potter, I've seen the trailer before when it was out, but I didn't see it. But I can see how hyped people would get over this trailer to be like, dude, this is going to be an epic ending to this series. I cannot wait.
So, for our Patreon fans, let us know if you want us to do a reaction, because I have seen this series through and through more than once, at least 2, 3 times. Anthony has not seen the series through and through. So, if you would like to join
Yeah,
us, um, in real time, sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/one set pod. Um, you can comment
do
along
it.
with us. Do it. But if you want to be able to react with us in real time, I believe that is tier 3, right, Anth?
Correct. Highest tier. Yep.
Highest tier. I think that that is a very good um, starting point for our patrons and our patrons, because It is such an epic series, and for me having seen it more than once and you having not, it might make it a little bit more fun because a lot of the watch longs we do, and most of them, pardon me, most of them, you and I have both seen, so we anticipate and know what's coming. Um, so it's almost like let's watch one movie and then get a reaction out of you, and then let's go from there, and let's do by movie, watch the movie, and then a separate Patreon exclusive our reaction to the watch along. Let's do that. I would love that.
Yeah.
If you're cool with that.
Yeah. I'm definitely down with that. Gives a little preview to it, but then Patreon gets a little bit more with that too. So I like that.
Sure.
And like I said,
Sure.
we're always thinking of different things to give to our patrons, and just this is cool little concepts we can definitely be playing around with.
Anth, is there any? Are there any trailers that are like superior? I only showed and shared 2 for this episode. So if you have anything, otherwise I'm going to start researching my next one.
I just started researching. I got one, but
Okay.
I think you probably know which one. Maybe one of the ones that I'm thinking. I'm trying to research another one because I was just going off a couple things, and I'm like, all right, that's definitely got to be one. And again, we'll cut and paste a lot of these things instead of just letting the audience and our listeners having us like flow through a couple different things.
All right, well, I already have my other one, and this is a movie that has been out.
Okay.
If you want me to share it now so that it's not dead space.
Yes, go ahead and send it. Yeah, go ahead and send it.
This is I mean, I hope this is the one. Because I remember when I first saw this and I shared it with people, and I was like, I cannot wait to see this movie, honestly. And then we'll talk about my reaction after the fact.
Now, okay, so it doesn't necessarily have to be ones that we've seen. It can be ones that like we're looking forward to.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the one that I was going to send was the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The one scary movie.
You probably know which one I'm gonna. Yeah, you probably know which one I'm gonna give you.
The one scary movie that I sent is not out yet. It comes out next weekend. But the other 2, I mean, the Harry Potter thing came out already, and oh, jeez, the thing that I sent in Messenger. Hold on.
Yeah, you sent me the same Harry Potter one.
Oh, yeah, give me a second because.
All right, I'm gonna send you the one that I just. I'm gonna send you 2. I'm gonna send you this one.
Okay. I have the one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they're both Batman. I love that. Seriously.
And we're getting another one here. It's gonna be an epic couple ones here.
The Flash official trailer. Okay.
All right. Just because you know the reason for that one, and I can't effing wait for that.
Yeah.
And I've never seen any of the Flash movies, but
me neither. And the Justice League stuff, nope, I just didn't do it.
But the cat's out of the bag with the special thing of the movie. I mean, so I think we can kind of like talk about it. The fact that Michael Keaton is reprising his role as Batman. Biggest Batman fan as a kid, and seeing Michael Keaton back in the Batman suit, epic.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for that.
So honestly, I love this episode and how you and I 4-6 hours ago, not even. We were like, what do we want to talk about tonight? And for us to dissect a few trailers and just say, hey, does this make us want to go spend money to see these movies? The attraction level, I think that is so important for us to talk about. And we can talk about that in future
Yeah.
episodes. Hey, what makes you say, absolutely, I want to do that? I mean, we talk about our favorite podcasters and they do shows, and our favorite comedians were like, yeah, we are coming to watch you and pay money to see you,
Right.
based off of how excellent that your podcasts are. Um, Things like that. And take the ropes right here. Because I mean, I do you have another one after this? Because I think you do.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I had one or two.
Okay.
But yeah, with this movie, and I know you might want to be seeing this movie, so I'm going to say a little bit of the bare minimum. But from the trailer, a lot of the concepts of what they were trying to do was a lot of shoes back then in the basketball world back in the 80s. The basketball player was an immortal thing of the shoe, where Nike wanted to make the player revolved around or the shoe revolved around the player instead of the reverse. So this was the first time a brand was making a shoe dedicated to a player, where back in like the Converse days, the players were just wearing Converse to promote Converse. But Nike took it a step further and said, hey, instead of the player just wearing our shoe, why don't we make a mold and design it for the actual athlete?
Hey,
Because before that, they were just a running shoe, you know?
before we jump into the next trailer, I just want to resonate with what we're talking about here.
For sure.
Especially in the hip hop field, there are so many teachers that like they need to wear clothing that make them look fancy. And I always
And they
think
go over that in the movie.
and I always think back to the episode of Doug where he the guy, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we have
Exactly.
talked about this. When he was like, I just wear the shoes that make me comfortable and allow me to shoot well.
Right.
There are so many, especially with social media, there are so many people that just wear whatever they want. And when I say whatever they want, I mean, they feel compelled to wear, and it's like a fashion statement. And for me, it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, I'm watching success stories happen on my front where I'm just like wearing the minimal. I am a minimalist. I just wear simple stuff. I don't try to be super fancy up top or with my
Yeah.
pants or
Same.
especially my shoes. It's just kind of like, hey, I'm here, and the one studio that I choreographed for kept asking the competition choreographer, is Mr. Jim here this weekend? Is he here? Is he here? Is he here? Is he here? Is he here?
Is
And
he here?
here. And I loved
Present.
the attention. And at the same time, I was just like, hey, stay focused on your priority, which is you being the best that you can be.
Yeah.
You know? So I was happy that they were thrilled to see me and thrilled that I was present for them. And at the same time, I was just like, hey, be the best version of you. That's what this is all about. And I think um being like a rare commodity, um and our good friend Tinky Winky um used to show up at the studio, and my students used to be like, "Oh my god, Tinky Winky's here. Amazing." And I'd be like, "Yep, there's Tinky Winky." And everyone would be in such a good mood because Tinky Winky showed up, right? Um
And if I'm knowing you the correct way, you're giving Tinky Winky a code name right now because we're trying not to say real names, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Absolutely. There you go. Because
So
we were talking about using this things too.
all fair. I'll code
Perfect.
break.
Perfect.
I'll code break who Tinky Winky is.
Yeah.
But it's very. I felt it in my own front where I would just show up here and there, and the dancers were like, "Oh my god, Mister Dipsy is here," which is me. I'm Dipsy.
Mhm.
And it's because I'm not present all the time, but they were excited that I was there. And the team director was like asking my sister Lala, um, "Hey, is Mr. Jim coming this weekend?" And Lala, my sister, was like, "Yeah, no, he rode down with me." And Lala was like, "Okay, because they keep asking, is he going to be here all weekend?" I'm just like, I'm sitting in the auditorium watching everything. I'm here.
Mhm.
And if I felt very Tinky Winky ish, you know. Uh, um, dude, I am just happy that you made it out of your venue Saturday night unharmed, because I know you were in a place or a space and you don't have to name drop it. I knew where you were playing, and I
Mhm.
gave you the heads up, like, "Hey, get out of there as quickly as you can." And
Yeah, and
it's
thank you for giving me that little heads up because,
sure.
I mean, I knew the area is not the greatest, but usually, thankfully, I mean, I know the people that I was going to be around, and I felt comfortable. I mean, it definitely would have been a different situation if I was going to an open mic that was new and I didn't know a lot of people there, and I was just going to be, just waiting for my spot, going up and leaving. But that we have a good music community around in Delco here with the Delco Quarantine open mic. Shout out to them and everybody of the community in there. So, uh, it's definitely a fun little music community that we have built up there since the pandemic hit, and always feel the love and support from everybody when I'm there. And I think we're gonna do another festival this summer, so I'm gonna definitely keep my eyes out for it because I'll definitely be putting my name in that festival again because I had so much fun there last year. So I think it's going to be in a different location, but I think they're trying to work out that stuff.
Well, and they have a giant respect for you. Obviously, they would not
Yes.
be welcoming you if they didn't think that you were um what's the word? And it's not even like based off your talent. It's just you being a member of the community and you being
Yeah.
present is what I'm trying to say. And
Yes.
I am so proud of you, and as should all of our One Set fans. Anthony out here is doing and has been doing so much in the last decade, between covering and presenting his own original content. Everyone should be out here providing 2-3 minutes of your time to listen to what Anthony has to offer. Um, he is amazing. I mean, what is the song about your grandmother that I always just collapse
Until we meet again.
until we meet
And
again?
that
And
one
that's
will be re-recorded again. So no pun. Again, it will be re-recorded. So I'm looking forward to that being re-recorded and showing that off too. So
Yeah, I mean, I think we are both enthusiastic about sharing that one again. 100%. Anth, we shared a couple of trailers. Our one set fans, our one set fam, thank you for tuning in. You know where to find us, obviously. If you want us to catch reviews on trailers, or you want us to present specific trailers, uh, the number one set pod at gmail.com is how you can contact us. Email us and let us know, hey, we would like you to follow up on that trailer. If you're on the fence about seeing some movie and you want our feedback, we're not super movie buffs, but we will provide you our opinions on those certain movies for sure. And with that said, I heard the Mario movie was amazing. I heard it was super awesome.
I've
Honestly.
been hearing good things about that too.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So if
yeah,
we want,
I've been
if
hearing a
we,
lot of good things about that.
perhaps Anthony and I will watch that, and then on our Patreon, maybe tier 1, we will provide our feedback for that. Anth, anything else before we sign off for the evening?
Again, to our one set fam, thank you all for tuning in to another episode. We love your support for the pod and for me and Jim. You guys are the reason we continue to do this every week, and not only just for me and Jim being able to have a place to just hang out and share our daily lives with people. This is something that we've been, continuing to just look forward to every week, and we're glad that we're starting to build a community that we're starting to share a lot of people's, like-minded, thoughts with everything. Like, we're starting to connect with others; they're starting to respond to us. So, the vibes are starting to catch with people, man. And we're definitely here to stay. We're hoping you guys continue to be with us for the long run. This has been another episode of One Set. Make sure you guys subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you see One Set, give us a follow, and hit us up on email. Send us an email, or you can subscribe to our email list. So you have a lot of options to get in touch with us, and we'll be talking to you guys very soon. This has been One Set, guys.
One last thing, P.S. Because Anthony is usually P. Yikes. P.S. We have given away a couple of shirts to our loyal fans that continuously watch our episodes and comment on our content. Let us know if you want to go fishing with us. I think that's the biggest thing. I know how passionate that Anthony is about fishing. I would love if Anthony and I and anyone that is, hey, Mike, I know you're out there and you are following us. Loyally. Anyone else, if you would like to go fishing with us, we would love you to come fly fishing with us. Hey, the weather is perfect right now. In the next 2-3 months. Hey, come fishing with us. Let's talk. We can talk about anything that you want. It can be not sports, wrestling. It can be whatever you want. And we'll share it on air, and we will throw you a million shout outs. We will love to build our fly fishing community. I know Anthony would. He is trying to get me out on the water. So if there is a good weekend with good weather and you would like to join us, hey, find us at oncesetpod@gmail.com. Just email us and say, I would love to fly fish with the both of you, or even just Anthony, or just Jim. And let's make it happen. All right. Until
Yeah,
then,
man.
Anthony, anything you want to add before we sign off?
I think we're good, man. All the love to you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
All the love.